Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk, a discussion about all things automotive. I'm Cory.
And I'm Matt. And each week this podcast will serve as a catalyst for discussion on all sorts of topics that grind our gears, rev our engines, or just need a bit more conversation.
And on this week's episode, we're diving into a little bit of car news because a lot has happened since the last time we've really talked car news.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a little bit of the future of Garage Talk. We're very excited about some things we've got going on, and
Some Subaru updates.
Yes, some Subaru updates, and we're going to be reaching out to you, our fans, our listeners, for a little bit of help and feedback and helping us grow. It's going to be fun. We're very much looking forward to the year ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
I've been saying it for a very long time that we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. And I'm just going to keep saying it because we really do. We have a lot of really fun stuff coming up.
There's a lot yet to come.
I'm very excited about next week's podcast episode. We've got an interview coming up with a YouTuber. We'll kind of keep that under the wraps a little bit. Let it be more exciting as people hear about it next week. But we've got a lot going on. So first, you alluded to it earlier, Matt. Why don't you give us a little bit of Subaru update with your Hawkeye? Huh?
Yep.
See, I learned something. Hawkeye Subi.
So 2007 Subaru Impreza 2.5i sedan.
Yes.
And that's it.
No WRX.
No WRX, no
nothing
STI,
super special.
no turbo yet. I've put a little over 1,700 miles on it since I've had it, which I was trying to remember. Do you know for sure when it was that I got the car?
I'm pretty sure we can go back on our Facebook page and figure that one out.
September-ish?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
You keep talking. I'm gonna do a little research on our end here.
Okay, roughly 3 months worth of ownership, and it's a great little car.
Yeah.
Power windows and locks.
Yeah.
Manual 5-speed. Yeah. Air conditioner will freeze you out. The heater will burn you out.
That's what you want, right?
And that's it. That's all that there is to the car. I really, really enjoy the simplicity of it.
So going back through our Facebook Live videos, you kind of did on your whole process of saying goodbye to the beloved F-150. 12 weeks ago, you posted essentially your farewell to it, saying that you had already picked the Subaru, but you were teasing people with what you had gotten. And 11 weeks ago, I can very clearly see the thumbnail of the Subaru. So you've had it just around 11 weeks.
Right. Just under 3 months.
Yep.
Okay. So 1,700 miles, 3 months, 500 miles a month.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. I have nearly torn the front bumper off of it a few times.
Yeah. You need a little more ground clearance.
I can't decide. I honestly I'm struggling with this genuinely because I get on and I look at Google Images or YouTube and I see all these beautiful dressed out wide body. I mean, couldn't slide a piece of paper between the tire and the fender kind of decked out dressed out cars, and they're spectacular and they're beautiful.
Yeah, but I couldn't imagine that they're great to live with on a day in and day out basis, which is what you are going to have to do.
Right. And
for the time being.
It is my daily.
Yep.
So that brings up the possibility of going the other way with it and going bigger and going meteor and, that type of thing.
Meteor.
Yeah.
Not meteor.
No. Don't want that. No. None of that.
You've been there, done that.
Yeah. The struggle there is what I'd like to do with it doesn't exist yet.
Huh. Well,
so
that is a slight problem.
Yeah. Let me back up.
I've never known you to shy away from a challenge, though.
The technology exists.
The technology exists. We have it. We can rebuild it. Yes. I'm not that old. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the reference.
We have the technology. We can rebuild it.
There you go.
Not sponsored.
No.
We Where am I going with all this?
I don't know. I'm not helping. What you want to do does not exist yet.
Yes. What I'd like to do, you can't get on, Summit Racing or something like that and order what it is that I'd like to do to this car.
Which is?
I don't want to say yet because, drum roll, please. I don't want to say it because I don't know yet if it's entirely possible. So, with that
again, we're teasing our fans with, hey, we want to do, we've got cool stuff.
This is awesome.
Just keep listening.
The other significant issue with the route that I would like to go eventually is equivalent kits for other vehicles that would do basically what it is I want to do are like $3,500. So it wouldn't be exactly a cheap endeavor to do with it, what I'd like to do. But that does not keep me from
dreaming.
Scheming. It
Scheming.
Also doesn't definitely
really
that. It also doesn't keep me from probably leaning a little more towards the lifted versus lowered portion of it. I have done a little bit of research on lift kits or whatever you want to call them for McPherson strut setup vehicles. And it just so happens that the Subaru Forester, which is essentially the same thing, but
the wagon version,
taller, a little bigger body, a little taller, it can accept the same strut setup, front and rear, and it gives you about 2 or 3 inches worth of overall lift on the vehicle.
That's all you need.
And they're bolt in.
Yep.
So that's a tremendous possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hung up on wheels because if I go lifted, I'd like a 17.
Right.
If I go lowered, I think I'd like an 18.
Yep.
I haven't found any 18s that I really have just fallen in love with yet. And I've found like 6 17s that I really like.
That solves it right there. So I've got an idea.
Okay.
Novel idea.
Here we go.
Wonderful, beautiful idea.
Let's do it.
Brainchild just stewing up here.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
I like the way you think, sir. So we said at the beginning of this episode that the future of Garage Talk is going to be a collaborative effort with our listeners and our fans.
Right.
Why don't we take this to them a little bit, and we'll do like we did last March and do be grammatically correct here, an Instagram poll.
Okay.
So you get me some images.
Okay.
I'll go on to the Instagram, gram, and we'll create some polling options, lifted, lowered, these wheels, that wheels.
Right.
And, we'll get the consensus of what our fans, our followers, our listeners are really into. Not saying we'll do it, but, it is a big commitment on your part because you have to live with it on a day in and day out basis. But
no, I like the idea, definitely. And I think Richard Hammond did something like this not too long ago with what was that? I just had it.
Fiat Multipla.
No, it wasn't the Multipla. I'd have to look it up again. But he allowed viewers to option out a vehicle that he was purchasing. And it turned out really sharp. It was a really cool rig. It had bright red interior, all kinds of good stuff. So
I like that you're putting us on the same level as Richard Hammond, the hamster.
I mean, why not?
From that other GT show.
That other GT show. I am intrigued definitely at the idea of giving our viewers kind of carte blanche access to the decision making.
A Garage Talk rig.
I mean, I really think it could be a lot of fun.
So you heard it here, guys. Head on over to GT Garage Talk on Instagram at GT Garage Talk, and be sure and follow us on Instagram, and you will see. Starting very soon, we will start putting the poll out there for you to start voting on, we'll see what direction our listeners are going on. See if Matt and y'all are thinking the same, have the same brainwaves.
Maybe we could do something on Facebook where people could drop pictures of suggested vehicles on there to kind of get, some juices flowing and get some ideas out there, kind of a thing.
So first head on over to Facebook at GT Garage Talk on Facebook. We'll put up a post where you can drop a picture in the comments of things you think Matt should do with his Scooby. I'll put a picture of it currently up on our Facebook page, and you, our listeners, can start putting in the comments what you think he should do to it, and then we'll take all that fun on over to our Instagram and start doing a little polling action there. And who doesn't love voting, right?
Yeah.
So, I like that a lot. Great idea.
Can I tease just a little more?
Yes.
Well, it won't really be a tease. I have considered, and I would be open to allowing the viewers and listeners to select this also, swapping the Bug-Eye front clip onto the Hawkeye. Or in place of the Hawkeye, just to...
So could we not call it Hawkeye anymore if you did that?
Well, we haven't come up really with a name for it either.
So, see, we got to ask for some name suggestions, too.
All right. So, hit us up on Facebook.
The fan's car.
That's it. Yeah.
It's no longer your car, Matt.
It's not mine anymore.
You just gave it over to all of our listeners and all of our fans. So,
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm good with that, yeah.
Your sacrifices. If you end up with a pink lifted Scooby with bug eyes.
I may draw the line at pink.
Neon pink. Oh, I want to see it. So, yes. Head on over to Facebook, GT Garage Talk. We will have a post up and ready for you to share all your thoughts about the direction Matt Subaru should go.
Love it.
And then we'll take that over to Instagram and start polling y'all and
pull it out.
See where that goes.
Yeah.
So, anything else on the Scooby?
I'm gonna need to put a clutch in it. Not because I don't know how to drive a stick. I'll just squelch those haters right there. I do know how to drive it, and I drive it well, and probably kind of hard.
Hence the problem, I'm sure.
But the cold weather has brought to my attention a very noisy throwout bearing.
Yeah.
So just, if I'm going to have the engine out of it or the transmission out of it to do a throwout bearing, I may as well put a clutch in it.
Yeah.
Right. And if anybody wanted to, throw a gear set my way or something like that while I'm in there, sure.
Why not?
Why not?
While you're at it. All right. So, since we have last met, met. Yeah, that's right. I know how to talk. I talk for what are you talking about? Since we have last met, it has become available to talk about. We're late on the game because the 30th of November was actually the end of the embargo on driving impressions of the Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat.
So we're going to talk about the Mustang Mach E next.
Yes. Ford definitely did take their shots back at FCA on that one. So it will come up in this conversation. I am sure of it, as you're wearing your Ford hoodie over there, sir. But
it just happened to be the one that I put on.
Yeah. So many of y'all are aware, and if you haven't, shame on you. Go back and listen to some of our past episodes. But I, as a member of the Texas Auto Writers Association, was able to attend an event where we were, I believe, the first media in the country to actually get to drive the SRT Hellcat Durango. But we couldn't talk about it until the embargo came off on the 30th. So
Monday.
That was October 5th, and it was the end of November. So 2 months of just, I gotta talk about it.
8 straight weeks.
Because if I'm not mistaken, it is not only the most powerful SUV out there currently, that you can buy factory, blah, 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 all that,
right.
Asterisks and that. It's the most powerful vehicle I have personally driven at this point in my life. I've driven a lot of vehicles, but fancy, expensive, brand new, fresh off the assembly line, typically is not what I get to drive. Bless you, sir.
Don't worry, it's not COVID.
You're long past that.
I'm over that already.
Exclusive first drives like this have not been a part of my life until very recently. So, yes, this is the most powerful vehicle I've ever driven by, just a few horsepower, because I did also get to drive the TRX. And yes, we've talked about that one already because the embargo lifted a while back on that one.
Basically, it was another boring Hellcat, right?
Yeah, Hellcat all the things, right? Yeah, so boring, over 700 horsepower. But yes, I got to drive an example of the Durango with all-wheel drive and 710 horsepower. And that is a very good combination.
Yeah.
In a no-compromise family hauler. So, I've shared many a times, I had a 2012 45th anniversary Camaro SS with 426 horsepower as my daily for a year. And I was also a youth pastor and hauling around teenagers here and there and wherever, and taking them home from church and stuff. Compromises were made to have that car because I sat in the back seat just to, experience how
more
cramped.
of a luggage tray, really.
Yeah, it's a leather bound luggage tray. Like it is not a seat. That is not a problem in the Durango. So the way Dodge is framing their three cars now, they are the performance division of FCA. They make no question about that. And the way they present their three cars is the two-door muscle car, the four-door muscle car, and the three-row muscle car. And this being the latter of the three-row muscle car.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it is. Plenty of room in the first row, the second row, and decent amount in the third row. More than the back seat of a Camaro SS.
Is it independent rear suspension?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So
you should have decent.
Yeah. There's no compromises here, really. It hauls and it hauls. Hauls people and it hauls butt. We'll keep it PG right there. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. So they've revamped the interior of the entire line, not just the Hellcat model, to be more in line with the Challenger and the Charger. It definitely has more of a muscle car, driver-centric cockpit feel to it. And the Hellcat version has this awesome compacted carbon fiber, unique to every vehicle weave. It kind of looks like camo carbon fiber in there. It's the best way I can describe it. All this can be found on our website, on our blog. I will have a blog with my full review of the Hellcat SRT Durango. So head on over to gtgaragetalk.com for that. But yeah, it's just awesome. It was one of the last vehicles I drove for the day at the Texas Truck Rodeo, which was more centered on off-road vehicles.
Yeah.
But we had a handful that there was a color system on the windshield. They had little colored dots that told you how extreme of an off-road course you could take these on. This had one dot. It did not have, I think there were 3 different levels. There was on-road, mild off-road, and full-fledged off-road. And this just had the on-road dot. And I took it out by myself, like I said, towards the end of the day. Was fairly exhausted at that point. There were 39 vehicles there, a lot to drive. And we were on public roads, twisty roads in Texas Hill Country. Handled them quite well. It is not going to rival a 911 in a road race or anything like that.
Right.
But again, having this idea of no compromise, hauling people and being able to literally haul butt wherever you go just by mashing the pedal is what it truly is. Its mission is to be the most powerful, the quickest family stuff hauler, and it can tow.
Yeah.
Like, all this is just, it blows my mind that there's a vehicle out there like this with, I keep saying no compromises. There's one major compromise.
Fuel economy?
Well, okay, too. Yeah, so I have not seen official fuel economy numbers, but I know that the Ram TRX that just won Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for 2021 gets like 9. If you're being good. So I'm sure that this one is not too much better, but a little bit better because it's not so big and heavy. No, I was going to say price.
Yeah.
So you can option one of these guys up to $90K easy. And they're only available this year. So one great thing that, my PR marketing brain sees is, make this super awesome thing, make it super limited.
Right.
So that everybody wants it. There's that exclusivity factor of it. And FCA has been doing a really good job with that. They had the 1 year only, the Dodge Demon, and now they kind of came out with the Demon Light and the Challenger wide body. I'm trying to remember all the names and things that they've got on that guy.
Again, there's like 87 different Hellcat variations of Challenger, Charger. Yes. Yeah. And
Cherokee,
apparently they're going to do the same
Grand
thing
Cherokee.
now with Durangos. So I have a question.
Okay.
Was the one you drove in Destroyer Gray?
No, the one I drove was, I don't know the official name, but Aggie Maroon. I'm going to call it Aggie Maroon. Gig 'em. But I would have picked it in a different color myself.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was nice. Black interior, red accents everywhere. The touch screen has all the performance pages on there. And then, so I was talking about this next feature, not option, feature with my wife, who is not a crazy gearhead like you and I, constantly seeking speed and acceleration and all that stuff. So it had this nice, pretty silver button that says launch on it.
Oh, boy.
Which they're making easier and easier. The more technology creeps their way into vehicles and the more we're going to automatic transmissions and away from manuals.
Right.
But it is super easy to launch this 710 horsepower all-wheel drive beast into motion. You push this beautiful, shiny silver button and mash the brake, floor the throttle, let off the brake, and you're off. And my wife doesn't get it. She's like, why does this exist? You're just going to have a bunch of idiots who don't know what they're doing. I was like, yes, in theory, but the price tag kind of helps, dissuade some of that.
Some, yeah.
But yeah, I will say, again, most powerful vehicle I've ever driven. I believe also the first vehicle with launch control that I've ever experienced. I was not ready. Even being the one operating it and doing the mashing of the brake and the gas and all of that, I wasn't ready. I did it again. I will preface this by saying it was the end of a very long day. I had driven a lot of vehicles by this point. I was hungry. I was tired. I wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to drive this vehicle before I left. I did it 2 or 3 times. I did not give it the full beans because, again, I made sure I was outside of traffic and yes.
Right.
It made me nauseous. Like it did something to my inner ear. I don't know, just seeing the world go from still to rushing past you that quick was quite an experience.
It was full blown like the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
First movie, nitrous button kind of feeling on it.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Definitely throws you back in your seat. Like I said, with it being all-wheel drive, traction was not particularly an issue. And in fact, as it shifted through the gears, all 4 tires, you could hear them scraping and scratching for traction. That's how much power this thing has.
That's
so
insane.
I knew exactly from just listening to the tires when I hit second, when I hit third, because those tires were frantically trying to keep us moving forward and not just spinning in a circle.
Wow.
Right there. But awesome rig is all I can say.
Yep.
And would make for a great family vehicle for a gearhead like you or I that, wants something fast. It's got a really cool look to it. Paint it in white, make it look like a stormtrooper, and you're off, ready to go. So haul the family, haul the kids, haul the boat, haul the camper, whatever you need to behind you. Yeah, it was awesome.
I think I have found the name of the color, and it's Octane Red.
Okay.
I would have the F8 green.
Yeah.
Because it's classic and vintage, and I love it. For reference sake, because I have an all-wheel drive four-door vehicle. Right. Very, very comparable. Right?
Yeah. So similar.
So just for
that's where the similarities stop.
Well, maybe. Yeah. For the sake of the argument.
Yeah.
The Hellcat Durango has 710 horsepower. 710 horsepower. Okay.
710 horsepower and 645 pound-feet of torque, to be clear.
Okay. All right. There is a way that my car has more power.
You are going to need to elaborate on that one, sir. At what RPM? At idle versus max redline?
No, if you divide the 710 horsepower by each wheel, it's only 177 horsepower.
Per wheel?
Per wheel. And my car has 193 horsepower. So, technically, my car at the flywheel has more power than the Hellcat Durango has at the wheel.
Wheels. Yeah, it doesn't math that way, Matt.
Certainly it does.
No. No, that's not how math works. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's how my calculator works. I don't.
Yes, but can your four-door all-wheel drive vehicle go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds?
Shot out of a cannon. Yeah.
Or does it have a NHRA certified quarter-mile time of 11.5 seconds?
Not mine, no.
All right, so.
But, and I've got you on this one.
Okay.
Does the Durango have a manual transmission?
Nope. You got me there.
Ha!
Yep.
Subaru's better.
And see, so there's the thing, because you and I, we're both purists and gearheads, and yes, we love the fun of a manual. I've driven a C8 Corvette, which will not ever come with a manual transmission, and it breaks my heart.
Boo.
There's just a certain level of fun that you are taking out of it at that point in time, and it is sad the direction it's going. That being said, what they are capable, like, aside from the fun and the driver engagement kind of aspect of it, what especially dual clutch transmissions are able to do nowadays takes away all the benefits that manual transmissions used to have. And it's sad that we don't even have that leg to stand on anymore.
Yeah.
Used to, it was like, well, I can get the best acceleration because I know when to shift. Well, dual clutch transmission is programmed at the best opportune shift point and can do it
in
way
like 40
fast.
milliseconds instead of.
So
I know, and I wonder too about this Hellcat culture with Dodge. How much of it is going to push that manual transmission out the door?
Yeah.
Because I don't think, and I'm trying to find out right now. Can you get a Hellcat with a manual transmission?
Challenger, right?
That's what I'm looking for.
I think that's the only one that's still even an option. So while you're digging onto that, we alluded to, as I brought up the Durango, the Mach E from Ford. They call it the Mustang Mach E. I laugh. I call it just the Mach E, which is what they should have done.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they announced as the embargo lifts on the 3.5 second 0 to 60 Dodge Durango Hellcat SRT, yada yada yada. Ford's like, us too, and the Ford Mustang Mach E GT, which is the go fast version, will also do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, and does not cost $90,000, and does not.
Did you find a price on it? I haven't found a price on one yet.
They have not released that yet. So it's not going to cost $90,000. It will be pricey.
Oh yeah, it will.
But you aren't going to have the other detractor that you brought up before I brought up price, which is fuel economy, because it's all electric. It's not going to have the same range as the lower end spec ones, but it's it's definitely going to be a capable rig where you and I and probably a lot of other enthusiasts, but maybe not many other people, have an issue is the name. They should have just stopped with Mach-E and not gone the Mustang route. But they're trying to... They see the writing on the wall of where the market's going. Two-door cars are out.
Right.
Cars are out, especially in the Ford lineup. The Mustang's the only one, right?
Yeah.
And electrics in and SUVs are in. So they've got this iconic nameplate of Mustang. And what do you do with it when nobody's buying cars and nobody's buying gas vehicles anymore?
Right.
So it's a big jump. It's to go from a two-door V8 rear-wheel drive sports car to a four-door SUV electric
all-wheel drive. Yeah.
But it's interesting to see and watch the market change and evolve. I've been alluding to the fact that Chevy's kind of been missing out on this whole off-road truck war because they're going all in on the electric side of things.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. If they take the Blazer, because that's already the size of the Mach-E, it's already kind of the Camaro of SUVs and the styling.
Boy, you're stretching.
It's Camaro inspired. And anyway, all that to say, do they electrify that and call it the Blazer E? Like, where does the General go with their electric technology? Because we know they've got it. They really have gone all in. They've partnered with Honda, so either Honda's reliability is going to go down or GM's is going to come up, but somebody's going to learn something in the process.
Right.
And it is a big investment for the future of what once was the world's largest automaker, and they are looking to maintain and grow back to that status. Like, what do they do to start answering some of the same questions that their rivals are doing? And then, we joke about FCA's Hellcat, all the things. Now they're starting to talk electrification. We're seeing it more and more. The Grand Wagoneer concept was a hybrid. You've got the Wrangler 4xe, which I know we've got a Facebook group that we're part of, Wrangler 4xe fans. They every single day post a meme about how we don't have the price of that sucker yet.
Oh, my goodness.
Chris, I feel you. I really want to know. Mum was the word when we were actually talking with the Jeep officials at the press event. So we're in December now. They don't have much longer to stall, so we shall see on the price on that rig. But
yeah, we said the same thing about the Bronco, and it took another 3 years for it to show up. So, to touch back on the Mach-E, I'm coming to the point where I can accept, and maybe it's because I'm a Ford guy, but I'm coming to the point where I can accept the Mustang nameplate on this vehicle.
Okay.
And it's for a couple of reasons. One is the brand or name association that you've talked about with the marketing aspect of it and how important that is. The other is if they wouldn't have called it a Mustang and had all these Mustang design cues in it, people would have been upset that it looked too much like the Mustang.
And it definitely wouldn't be getting all the press that it's getting. One of the only reasons we're talking about it right now is the fact that it's called a Mustang instead of just a Mach-E. So there's a lot to be said just about the press that comes with it because it is a capable rig.
Oh, yeah.
It will give – it's really slotted around Tesla Model Y. It's not really a Model X competitor, but it's a Model Y competitor.
Right.
In price, in size, in acceleration, because the Model Y also has a 0 to 60 of 3.5 on the Performance Edition. So, we're seeing all the same numbers. Everybody's aiming for the same benchmark. And I kind of wonder, are we getting to a sea of sameness as we go to electrification? Because we keep getting the same. Oh, it does 3.5 seconds, and with it being electric and instant torque and all that, the experience is kind of the same. So then what do you fall back on? Do you fall back on brand heritage, reliability, serviceability? what?
Yeah.
Tesla definitely has the cachet, the cool factor behind it. It's got the technology behind it. So it's going to be interesting to see what these 100-plus-year-old companies can do when they are all in and they are ready to compete at the same level as the big boys in the electric game.
I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. I can't wait till we get to test one.
Oh, yeah.
That's just me. So
I did find you can still get a 6-speed manual Tremec transmission for the Hellcat. Just
Challenger.
To touch back on that, yeah.
Yep.
And only on the Challenger. So,
yep.
Again, I don't expect it to last very long. But what do you do? I have a bit of news.
Okay.
And it's automotive related. It's motorsports related.
Okay.
But it's a little different.
We're a little different.
True. Very true. I was flipping through Facebook today, and a notification. No, actually, it was through YouTube.
Okay.
And a little snippet video came up of a thing called Nitro Rallycross.
Yeah.
Have you heard of such a thing, Cory?
I have not, but it sounds fun.
Have you heard of Rallycross?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's, arena style rally cars that, there's 4 of them at a time and they compete for top spot, and sometimes there's a jump and stuff like that. Well, Nitro Rallycross, and you might recognize the nitro aspect of it, it does have a lot to do with Travis Pastrana, who is a rallycross driver, along with Ken Block and Tanner Faust and several other big names. He decided that rallycross wasn't rowdy enough. Which, if you've ever watched a rallycross race, it's plenty rowdy. But in particular, he was not thrilled with the kind of slapped together, temporary, not very exciting tracks that they've been racing on. So he did a couple of trial runs with the Nitro Rallycross courses, and there's a couple of them that have been built. And 2019, I believe, was actually the first year that they ran the Nitro Rallycross. No, I'm sorry, 2017. I'm looking back through my notes now. 2017. And 2021 will be the first year where there will be a championship. And it's kind of, for motorsports, it's kind of a super fast proving ground type of from concept to completion scenario where people love it. The drivers love it. It's massive. The video that I saw was this figure 8 of sorts where there's a 100-foot gap that the top section of track goes over, and then there's a jump under that one that actually goes over a tunnel that goes under that section. So you could have 3 cars on top of each other, all doing 70, 80 miles an hour, and 2 of the 3 of them being in the air at a time. So it should prove to be even more rowdy than what Rallycross has been here in the States. And I'm super excited about it. I would love for Garage Talk to try and go to an event. There's one in Florida, there's one in California, and I think there's one in Georgia, maybe. So maybe we can talk the purse holders into turning us loose on a Nitro Rally course for a little while.
That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
So it's funny that you bring up rally stuff, because we're in conversations. I can't go into a lot of details because, again, still nothing's finalized. But I've had some conversations with some organizers of some rally races here in Texas to come on and not only be on our podcast, but they've invited us to come out and
tear up my car.
I mean, it would be fun.
It would be fun.
You should see the poor expedition that they entered into the latest rally race. It was missing the back doors, the back quarter panels, the back windows, the back everything. Like it was the shell of the expedition back behind it. But,
I love it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But we'll just leave it at that. Again, nothing's final yet. Which kind of leads me into this. We've been teasing a lot about the future. I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit and let you know one of the big things that we are most excited about for 2021. And that is video car reviews.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple on our YouTube channel, most notably the Ram TRX. Working on finalizing. I know it's really out of date because their press vehicles are rolling out right now, but actually you can go out and buy one too. The 2021 Rogue is out now and drove that. It's great. I've got a video of that. We've got a lot of footage stockpiled behind us that I got to do better. But anyway, on our channel now, we've got a C8 Corvette and a Ram TRX review. Those are both me. Those are both solo. But we want to do more of that.
Yeah.
I'm addicted. It's what we want to do. It's been our drive. It's been our passion. It's something that we want to share with you, our listeners, our fans. But we need your help. So we are at the beginning stages of this. We are in conversation with several automakers, manufacturers that have keys to said cars. But the quickest way to get a large stockpile of vehicles is our fans, our listeners.
Oh, I thought we were going to go buy a bunch of cars.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know how we're going to afford all that. But so we're going to start a true video review series on our YouTube channel. We're going to start with our rigs. So Nelly will make an appearance. Hawkeye or whatever you, our wonderful fans, decide to grace Matt's Subaru.
That's got to be the first thing that goes up. Like this car has to have a name soon.
Right. We will do a full review. Both of us will drive it and give our thoughts. So we'll rib each other on our own daily drivers. Our wives' cars will go up there. So the Jeep Grand Cherokee, I wish. The Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk that my wife drives and the Honda Pilot that your wife drives will go up there. If we can, talk friends and family into releasing the keys just for a little bit of their vehicles. We've got a Kia Telluride on loan, on promise. It's been promised to us. We haven't fully taken advantage of that. So we've got several that we're working out the details of. And if you've got a cool car, an old car, a new car that you would love to see us review and have fun with, let us know. Shoot us an email, gtgaragetalk@gmail.com. Send us a picture, some specs. We'll get the conversation started because we really do we want to grow our YouTube presence, just like we've spent 2020 growing our podcast presence. And that's kind of how we want to do things. The podcast isn't going away.
No. You still got to put up with listening to us.
What we really like, the podcast is a discussion. And like Matt says in the intro, it's where we talk about what grinds our gears, what revs our engines. That is the point of the podcast. It gives us an opportunity to talk to cool people that we really wouldn't get to any other way, like Bogey from All Girls Garage and Cory Morrow, country music star, and more to come on different interviews that we have coming forward. But the podcast definitely is not going away, but we want to add to what Garage Talk is giving you, our fans, our listeners, and that is car reviews and video content. And we want to bring our personalities that you enjoy week in and week out on the podcast to your screen, your television screen, the phone in your pocket, however you listen to and watch YouTube. We want to be there too. So,
and maybe we'll blow something up.
That's not a good way to get people to give us their cars, Matt.
Well, I'm not talking about people's cars.
Right.
This would be, we could leave it pretty open-ended.
Yeah.
I mean, because, it could go from, a firecracker that blows up.
Right.
Or it could be something massive, like a boat.
Or Prius. What? No.
What'd you say? What? Anyway.
Yes. Again, I just want to let you know that if you have a vehicle that you would love to see us review, whether it's gush over or roast, let us know. Send us an email, send us a picture. gtgaragetalk@gmail.com. We would love to partner with you, especially if you're in the East Texas area, because travel, we're both working day jobs right now. So if you are in the East Texas area and you have a vehicle you could loan us for a day, we would love to make a video with your rig and feature it on our YouTube channel. So we've got that coming up. Next thing, special gift.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, but wait, there's more. So we have a special gift that you cannot get anywhere else but through Garage Talk, through our Patreon.
Do they have to wait until December 25th to open it?
No, but they won't get it until after. So it really doesn't matter. So one thing that we have been, I guess, reiterating week in and week out is our Patreon. And there are different pay tiers that give you different things from us in addition to just the podcast. Because again, the podcast is not going anywhere. It is going to stay free. But in order to keep doing all this and to keep doing car reviews and videos and make sure we've got the equipment and the workflow and all that good stuff, it takes time, energy, effort, and money. And so Patreon allows you to support our channel and get something in return, whether it be the satisfaction of helping us out with the $3 a month tier, or starting with the $5 tier, you get a little bit of extra content after we stop recording this episode that you're listening to now. Matt and I record just a little bit of extra bonus content for you.
And usually some bloopers and goofy things like that.
We're not goofy. What are you talking about? Yeah. We're serious. This is our profession.
Right. Yeah.
We've got that going on. There, like I said, there are different tiers that get you different things, discounts on our merch. Again, kind of alluding back to the fact that we're going YouTube route. I've got some ideas in mind where we can give you awesome special shout outs as we review vehicles. So I've been cooking up some things to make it worth your while to support us on Patreon. But in order to do that, you can either go to gtgaragetalk/support. There you scroll down and it tells you all the ways that you can support our channel, whether it's liking us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or sharing us with your friends. Or
and that's all free.
Right. Or going to patreon.com/GTGarageTalk and signing up for one of the tiers. The special gift comes into play in that if you are signed up by the end of 2020 at any tier.
December 31st.
Yeah. Any tier, any level. So $3 up to $100 a month, which is the highest tier. God bless you. We love you. You will receive a special one-of-a-kind gift. We've just got a handful of them on order. We're super excited. We don't have them in hand yet, but they are Garage Talk magnets. You can throw them on your car as long as you don't have aluminum door panels or tailgates or anything like that. You throw them on the fridge. You put them wherever. But we're very excited about sharing our brand and helping gearheads identify other gearheads who enjoy this podcast, this show. And we just want to give back to you. So again, the only way to get these magnets is by supporting us on Patreon at any tier by the end of the month, December 31st, 2020.
And if you're already a Patreon subscriber, we'll be sure you get one anyway.
Absolutely. So we cannot say thank you enough for continuing to listen to us week in and week out. We truly love what we do. This has been a blast of a year so far. We're looking forward to what 2021 has in store for us. Cannot wait to start reviewing vehicles on video, starting with ours. So I really cannot wait to introduce y'all to Nellie. There's nothing special about her, but she's paid off. She's mine.
There you go.
She's a 6-speed manual.
Yeah.
So it's fun to drive.
Hashtag save the manual.
Save the manuals.
Bring it on.
But
maybe we'll jump the Subaru in one of the videos. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But if you want to know more about us, what we're doing, what we're driving, head on over to gtgaragetalk.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at GT Garage Talk. Until next time, bye.